Alright, welcome back to my playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney did Trilogy. Last time we tackled on case 4 and, well, the second day of case 4, and today we'll hopefully be finishing case 4 and saving Edgeworth. And hopefully the internet works today. That would be cool. December 27th, 2:11 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. What was Mr. Edgeworth talking about? A memory of a crime that I committed. A memory of murder. Do you really think Mr. Edgeworth killed? I don't believe it. Not Edgeworth. Some painful memory has been troubling him recently. But he'd never take someone's life. Never. Nick. Yo, how's everyone doing? What do you think of my performance today? Adam swooning in the else. Huh, Maya? Swooning me? Oh, yes. I do remember feeling faint. Right on. Tell me the truth. It was like love at first sight, right? Right, Nick? Huh? Me? Well, maybe my heart skipped a beat or two. I think you can do better than that. Come on, I said Edgeworth in there, dude. Edgy. You guys should be bowing before me. Yeah, before your hero. Larry, you really helped out in the trial today. You did. You weren't there, Larry. If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would have been found guilty. But seriously, Nick, that boat shop caretaker guy's pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. Way to spoil the mood, Larry. I'm just the guy sitting in the audience, you know? Case 2, Justice for All, that's a good case. I hope you enjoy that one. But from where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. I mean, can you really know he's telling the truth about that night? Nick? I don't know, but what I do know is I'm going to believe in you two until the end. Us two? Edgeworth and who else? You mean me, right? Now he means me, right, Nick? Yeah, you, Larry. Not me? But why you, Larry? Huh? Actually, yeah. Why me, Nick? Enough with the silent treatment. Nick, why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I mean, he's changed recently, true. But when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? You didn't know him back then. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Wait, was that when you two were classmates? Yes, in grade school. They saved me, Miles, and Larry. They saved me and I'll never forget it. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know? What? Hey, Larry, what's he talking about? Huh? Sorry, I kind of forgot. Okay, Nick, out with it. I'm going to hear this story today, and that's final. Okay. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. It was the very end of 3rd grade. I was on trial, a class trial. A class trial? You remember, Larry? Spring, end of 3rd grade. A kid in our class got his lunch money stolen. Lunch money? Our school was really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. Huh, I see. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared with 38 bucks still inside it. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that. I can see why you'd forget though. You're out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class. So they thought you did it. Yeah, the kids in class said I should be put on trial. Trial? So the next day we had a classroom trial with me as the defendant. I didn't do it. Guilty. He did it. Guilty. It was you. Thief. Give the money back. You're such a meanie. Hey, did you wrong that bank the other day? Now, Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. Can we get song requests? If it if this game didn't have such a good OST, you could. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Go over and apologize, Phoenix. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad, I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went to where the boy whose money had been stolen was sitting. That's when it happened. He shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in a trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed. Amateurs. Miles? It wasn't you who stole my money, was it? No. Then you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one has any proof. That is why, Your Honor, this boy is innocent. But, Miles, it was your money that was stolen. Why don't you all just shut up? This is always how it is. Everybody ganging up and picking on one person. Donates do it all the time, 10 times. Oh god. Just think how he feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. Very well. I will replace the money myself. This class trial is over. That's how it happened. After that, the three of us were best of friends. Wow, I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot. That's when I learned what it meant to be alone. Totally alone, without a friend in the world. You did a good thing, Larry. Yeah, well, I was just lucky that I took the day off from school. If I'd been there, they would have thought I'd done it. So I took it kind of personally, see? When something smells, it's usually the butts. Anyway, Edgeworth and I talked after that class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes would shine when he talked about his father. I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my father. A famous defense attorney. Then, a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DL6 incident. Right, I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. That's so sad. It was several years later when I heard Edgeworth's name again. There was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, "Dark suspicions of a demon attorney. Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts." The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. But why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all. That's what I thought too. I tried to get in touch with him, I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I couldn't just drop it though. I wanted to meet him, to learn why he had become who he became. That's when I decided. Wait, you don't mean that's why? That's why he became a defense attorney. To meet Edgeworth. If I was a defense attorney, I knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. In court. Edgeworth believed in me, and I believe in him. He's in pain, and no one's on his side. I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help him. Whoa, Nick. So, so is that what you helped me out for free? Yes. I helped you because I believed in you. Except I don't remember saying I'd do it for free. Aw, Nick. Nick! We have to save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Right, it very well may be. First, there's that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for who. I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Okay, let's go. December 27th, Gourd Lake Park entrance. Hey pal, long time no see. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. Close one today, eh? I got so worked up, I snapped my tie in half. Sorry about that. No prob, pal, thanks to you. We now know who really did it. You mean the boat shop caretaker? Look, I'll make you a promise. I have that scoundrel in my custody by trial time tomorrow. Come what may. It's my duty to you as a police officer. Now, I'm off to catch me a criminal. Detective Gumshoe sure is active today. Oh, one other thing. No one can go into the woods today. The woods? Well, a lot of us camping. The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad. No one can go in for a while. I guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble. Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. December 27th, Gourd Lake, Public Beach. Huh? The steel eyesore is missing. Eyesore? Looks like the hot dog stand is closed too. I guess Larry's too busy worrying about Mr. Edgeworth to show up for work. December 27th, boat rental shop. That old caretaker got away. Yep. I never imagined he might be the real murderer. Ahem! I'd know that clearing of the throat anywhere. Aha, hello. What might you be doing here? Out for a walk, hmm? Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon, you see? Mr. Grossberg? This is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow. That is true, yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right? Well, I'm not so sure about that. Oh, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm not sure. If you find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance. Thanks. Bye. Mustache guy talking. Yeah. What do you think Mr. Grossberg was doing here anyway? Who knows? December 27th, caretaker's shack. Nobody's home. Hello. Hey, it's Polly. I wonder Where are your honors gone, Polly? Hello, hello. I can't believe he'd run off and leave his poor parrot to fend for herself. Hello, hello. Maybe I should take care of Polly, Nick. You probably shouldn't just kidnap her. The police know about her anyway. I'm sure they'll do something. Well, okay. Sorry, Polly. He says I can't take you. Great, now the bird's going to hate me. What's more curious though is the safe. That reminds me, Nick. Polly Polly here knows the number to the safe, right? Yeah, that's right. Polly, what's the number to the safe? 1228. Let's open it, Nick. Come on. I'm sure there isn't any money in there. Aww. But hey, he keeps it locked, right? So there must be something of value in there. I'm not so sure. Okay, Nick, let's see what's in there. Guess there might be a clue or two. The only thing in here is a letter. A letter? Aw, boring. There's no name or signature on this thing. It's handwritten in very precise, clear letters. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Nick! Why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be on here? How should I know? I'm going to read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says this is your last chance. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. The rest of the letter goes on to describe the murder plot in detail. How to kill Robert Hammond and frame Edgeworth. Calling Edgeworth out to the lake. Getting on the boat. Firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in court. It's all here in perfect detail. What do you think it means, Nick? I don't know, but it looks like these are instructions for the caretaker. When he killed Robert Hammond and called out Edgeworth, he was following instructions. Who could have written that letter? And what does it mean to get revenge on Miles Edgeworth? Look, I don't know, okay? But one thing's for certain. This letter is an amazing clue. There's nothing left in the safe. I wonder why the caretaker didn't take the letter with him. He left in a hurry, right? I don't think he even came back here after trial. Okay, I don't think any... Let's go to Mr. Grossberg. There we go. December 27th, Grossberg Law Offices. He's out again. When does he work anyway? Now, don't be harsh. Guess we'll have to come back later. Really? Okay then. December 27th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. You look as grim as always. Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about that class trial. Class trial? What do you mean? You don't remember? No, I don't. Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 3rd grade? Lunch money? Oh, right. Yes, I seem to remember something like that. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers. Well, it probably only really mattered to me anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? The trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you'd do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple, to a fault even. Well, maybe yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Hi, sorry, I was playing Mario Kart Wii. No problem. You didn't miss much, except we found this letter in the caretaker dude's safe. It like details how to frame Edgeworth for the murder. Hey Edgeworth, why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me, and you want me to defend criminals? I'm sorry, right? But I'm not that good of a person. One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes, the man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter, any way you look at it. Yet, he was found innocent. That defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Robert Hammond. On that day, 15 years ago, the three of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I'd lost all memory of the murder. Lost your memory? Even now, I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had been not sound of mind due to the oxygen deprivation. Yogi was released due to a lack of evidence. Innocent. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher and a man who deserves respect. I learned everything I know of courtroom techniques from him. So he's like my sister was to you, Nick. He's a perfectionist in all things. In court, in his personal life, he's obsessed with doing everything perfectly. Perfectly, huh? In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved, and not one suspect was declared innocent, ever. But that's... I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it's impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. All Von Karma does is his job, to find the suspect guilty, perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. Edgeworth? What you're saying is true. You're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. He's right! Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth! It's a strange situation in which I find myself, I'll admit. No kidding. Edgeworth, see this letter? This came out of the safe in the shack where the boat rental caretaker lives. I see. Revenge? On me? Who's that old guy anyway? I don't know. Could he be an innocent defendant you got declared guilty or something? Nice, right? But I don't remember that old man. Not at all. So he was following this letter then? Which means there was someone else behind it. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. Two men, meaning myself and Robert Hammond? It also says this is your last chance. Last chance? Wait, maybe he's talking about the statute of limitation on the DL6 incident. Wait, that old man. What is it? Do you know who he is? Yogi. Could he be Yogi? Yogi? The suspect in the DL6 incident. The one who was found innocent. Yanni Yogi was a court bailiff at the time. We just happened to be in that elevator together 15 years ago. The quake was incredibly strong. Plot twist, yeah. Before I knew it, everything was dark. We were there for so long, it felt like forever. The air thinned, and the darkness closed in on us in that little box. We became unsettled. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier. I want to get out! Help! Get us out! Don't shout! You'll just use up more oxygen. That's all I remember. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling. In court, Yani Yogi's mental condition was called into question. They claimed the oxygen deprivation and stress had caused temporary insanity. In the end, the claim passed the court, and Yogi was found innocent. Huh, but isn't that strange? This letter tells him to get revenge on Edgeworth. Why would he want to take revenge on you? Right, yeah? There's something that's been troubling me these last few days. I didn't know whether or not I should tell you. You mean the nightmare? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. I think... I think the time has come to tell all. For the last 15 years, I've had the same dream almost every night. I wake up in a fearful sweat every time. What kind of dream? It's a dream about my father's killing, in the dark. Help, I can't breathe. Quiet, I said quiet, you're not making this any easier. I want to get out, help, get us out. Don't shout, you'll just use up more oxygen. I can't breathe, you're using up my air. What? Stop breathing my air, I'll stop you. What? What are you? Stop breathing my air. No, father. He's attacking father. Then I see the pistol laying by my feet. I don't know if that was evidence from that day in court or the bailiffs. In a daze, I pick up the pistol. Get away! Get away from my father! And with that scream, I wake. It's a bone-chilling scream. A scream that has rung in my ears for the past 15 years. But that's just a dream, right? Right? That thought is the only thing that has kept me sane for the last 15 years. But what if I'm wrong? What if it's real? They say that sometimes people shut out memories in self-defense. Maybe it was I who killed my father. What? If you think about it this way, this letter makes sense. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Think about it. Yogi was really innocent. That's why he wanted revenge against me. Wait, Edgeworth, you mean it was me? I was the true criminal of DL6. I shot my father. This is bad. What are we going to do, Nick? What can we do? I don't know. I don't think there is anything we can do. Like it or not. If there's someone else who knows a lot about the DL6 incident, maybe... There is, Nick! There is someone else who knows about DL6. December 27th, Grossberg Law Offices. Mr. Grossberg? Ah, hello there. What's wrong? You look troubled. No kidding, I can't believe you're not. Mama, just calm down and tell me what happened, hmm? It's Mr. Edgeworth, he... I see. So Edgeworth dreamt he shot his own father? It's only a dream, only a dream. I wonder... What? If that's the case, then why do you two look so troubled, hmm? Well, also consider this. Yogi quite clearly holds a deep grudge against Miles Edgeworth. So deep he'd want to frame him for murder. This leads me to surmise that Mr. Edgeworth's dream was not a dream, it was real. As you imagined, Miles Edgeworth threw the pistol to save his father. The pistol fired and the deed was done. No! I don't believe it! Yogi was suspected of murder, and his career as bailiff was irrevocably wrecked. Thus he sought revenge on Miles Edgeworth. This was his last chance, of course, with the statute of limitations so close. What do you know about Edgeworth's father? He was a defense attorney without peer. It sounds trite, but it's true. Well, he may have done one peer now that I think about it. Your mentor, Mia Fey. My sister? Gregory Edgeworth was very disapproving of Mr. Von Karma's techniques. That's no surprise. Von Karma is an extreme man. Forged testimonies and evidence are nothing to him. The result, he has a perfect win record in court. To beat him, Gregory Edgeworth tried to call attention to his methods. And? He lost, and died in despair, as it were. I see. When Gregory Edgeworth was killed, the police called on a spirit medium. That was your mother, Misty Fey. I'm Gregory Edgeworth. I have been killed. The one who shot me was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi. Yet Yogi was found innocent. That's when my mother left us. Everyone called her a fraud. That's right, everyone thought she was, you see. Hey there, hi Aku. Yet, now that I think about it, it seems the one who lied was Gregory Edgeworth's ghost. Gregory Edgeworth must have known who shot him. I don't believe it. So you're saying he falsified his testimony? That Edgeworth's dad lied to protect his son? It's only a possibility, mind you. But a possibility nonetheless. Oh, so this is the letter? It does seem that It does seem that Yogi was following this letter when he killed Hammond. But why kill Mr. Hammond? Hammond was a skilled defense attorney, but he defended clients not for their sake, but for his own. Huh? His own sake? He never trusted his clients, that one. The only thing he trusted was his own ability. But he got his clients found innocent, so why should it matter? Actually, my dear, it's quite different. He won that innocent verdict for no one but himself. Yogi was a free man, but socially he was ruined. Huh? You'll understand soon enough. Wait, what is it? This letter. I've seen this handwriting somewhere before. A long time ago. Whose handwriting was this? Do I have any idea who wrote this? Well, couldn't have been either of them. Could it be Manfred von Karma? Von Karma? Why would he have something to do with this? Well, I'm not sure. Von Karma. Wait, you're right, my boy. This is Von Karma's handwriting, I'm sure of it. I used to see it all the time on court reports. What? But that means... The one who told Mr. Yogi to kill was... Correct, Manfred von Karma himself. What does this mean then? Why would Von Karma want to frame Edgeworth? If it truly was Von Karma who wrote this letter, then he would know the truth. He would, he would know that Miles Edgeworth had accidentally killed his own father. He'll say as much tomorrow in court, I should think. He'll press the point until the court finds Miles Edgeworth guilty. Oh no! But how could Von Karma know about Edgeworth's past like that? Even Mr. Edgeworth thought it was just a nightmare. That I do not know. Yet I do know that Von Karma is both persistent and a perfectionist. He may be seeking to satisfy a grudge against Gregory Edgeworth by hurting his son. What do you mean? It was 15 years ago. Von Karma met Gregory Edgeworth in court, and Von Karma did win. But he didn't make it through the trial unscarred. What happened in the trial between Edgeworth's dad and Von Karma? Von Karma got the guilty verdict he wanted. He won the trial. But Gregory Edgeworth accused Von Karma of faulty evidence. And though he lost the trial, Mr. Edgeworth's accusation stood. Faulty evidence? It was the only penalty Von Karma has ever received in his career as a prosecutor. Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow! It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. A vacation? Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. Really? He doesn't take vacations? Like go to the sea or to the mountains? Don't tell me he's never been to Europe. You have strange ideas about vacations, Maya. Does she though? In any case, that was the only time he took a vacation from work. I believe the penalty upset him quite a lot. Odd, if he wanted to keep a perfect record so badly, why would he take such a long vacation? What do we do, Nick? If Von Karma is going to bring up DL6, you can bet on it. What if Mr. Edgeworth pleads guilty to DL6? I won't let him. Yes, Mr. Wright. I had to say this, but even accidental murder is murder, you know? I know that. I just believe in Edgeworth's innocence. I can't believe he'd kill someone. But Nick, Mr. Edgeworth admits it himself. His father must have lied to protect him from beyond the grave. I don't care. I know he's not guilty. Mr. Wright, if you say so, I suppose I could go check again. The police files might hold something of interest. Mr. Grossberg, thank you. I can't promise anything. In fact, I think the chances of finding something are slim. I understand. The police materials. In any case, it's good that the one shooting isn't Miles. You bet it's good! Can't believe the fiendish planning that went into this murder. And we almost fell right into his trap. What a creep! Ah, she was a beautiful woman. I'm truly sorry about what I did. Huh? Sorry about what? I think I'll stay out of this one. This incident took place 15 years ago tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll see the completion of not one, but 2 trials. All thanks to the statute of limitations. However, I'm afraid the damage the DL6 incident has done will never be eased. Alright. Guess we can go to the Criminal Affairs Department. December 27th. Police Department Criminal Affairs. There's hardly anyone here. Everyone must be out looking for the old guy, Yogi. Ah, it's you. I don't think Gumshoe will be coming back today. He's staying out late looking for someone. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is pounding the pavement for real. We were wondering if we could check out the records room again. Well, now I can't have just anyone wandering around in there. But I guess Mr. Von Karma is in there now anyway. You can go in as long as he's there. Von Karma? Yes, he just arrived actually. Von Karma's in the records room. Nick, let's hurry. December 27th, Police Department Records Room. Dusty as always. We were only here just yesterday. I'm sure they haven't had time to clean. What's wrong, Nick? Nothing. I was just noticing that he isn't here. Von Karma. Ooh, open drawer. Suspicious. Huh? One of the drawers here is open. Someone must have been looking in it recently. The label says unsolved cases evidence. Unsolved cases. Nick! The file for DL6, it's completely empty. What? What are you doing in here? Von Karma! You! How do you know my name? Huh? Have we met? What are you saying? We see each other every day, don't we? Well, we're Miles Edgeworth's defense team. Defense team? I beg your pardon. You see, I rarely remember defense attorneys. They're like bugs to me. Needless things to be crushed. I can see how this guy was Edgeworth's mentor. Mr. Edgeworth is his student, right? What? Okay. A romanticist who still can't shed that veneer of amateurism. A romanticist who still can't shed that veneer of amateurism. Huh. Just like his father, always second rate. Mr. Von Karma, you had an axe to grind with Mr. Gregory Edgeworth, didn't you? Me? A grudge against a mere defense attorney? Why? Because he dealt a blow to your otherwise perfect trial record. So you did. But I don't get it. Why did you take his son under your wing afterwards? The son of your most bitter rival. That, my dear attorney, is none of your business. Tomorrow will be the last day of this trial. It's been a while since I've had a defense attorney last this long. Still, you will lose in the end. Miles Edgeworth will admit to his own guilt. His guilt of 15 years ago, you mean? You're quite a researcher. If you've done your homework so well, then certainly you must understand. You know what Miles Edgeworth will tell the court tomorrow? Right. So Von Karma is going to bring up DL6 in court tomorrow. Mr. Von Karma, have a look at this. This was you, wasn't it? You instructed Yanni Yogi to commit murder. Yanni Yogi? How many years has it been since I've heard him called by that name? He's a fool. I told him to burn it after he read it. So you admit it? You wrote Mr. Yogi this letter? Yes, my dear defense attorney. Thank you for taking the trouble to bring it to me. You saved me from a lot of needless hassle. What? Nick, what is that thing? A stun gun for self-defense, usually. Indeed. 600,000 volts where it course through your body like a dog touching an electric fence. 600,000. Oh, don't worry. People don't die from it, usually. Now give me the letter. No! No! Whoa, what are you? Nick, run! Maya, out of my way! Yeah, showing crucial evidence to your enemies probably not the best idea. Ugh, he got us. The letter is gone, of course. And he took the DL6 evidence, all of it. Back to having no clues. Wait, Maya jumped first. Maya, is she okay? Holy shit, yeah. Maya! Maya, open your eyes. Maya. The letter, did he take it? Huh? Oh yeah, are you okay? I couldn't stop him. I jumped as fast as I could, but one shot from that thing knocked me out cold. I'm useless. I'm not good as a lawyer or a medium. I can't even call my sister. Not even now, when we need her the most. I wish I hadn't woken up at all. Maya! Has to be some way I can help her. I'd better do something about her self-confidence first. Maya? She's holding something. What is that? A bullet? DL6 incident. Evidence number 7. Taken from the heart of Gregory Edgeworth. This is so sad, can we make fun? I remember. Von Karma was holding this when Maya jumped him. DL6 bullet taken from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. Still bear clear ballistic markings. I'll prove it to you, Maya. You're most definitely not useless. I'll prove it to you in court tomorrow. To be continued. Okay, so I'm gonna end stream here. Nah, just kidding. December 28th. Broaching. December 28th, 9:51 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. This is it, Judgment Day. Today, things are going to settle at last. A lot of things. What? What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa! What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go inside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Oh yeah, pal. She even got gumshoe. What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear, as promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe, you must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I'll feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why do we want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember it, and I'm going to prove it. December 28th, 10 a.m. District Court Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I take that the prosecution submit decisive evidence? Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, in yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember a witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake, from where he witnessed that incident. In addition, he has currently lost memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? Yeah, Von Karma is one of the most annoying prosecutors. The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well, please begin your testimony. Why I left court? I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. Well, it really sucks that all our evidence from DL6 is gone. Let's begin the cross-examination. He has to know his name. Yani Yogi. You're Yani Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. I call what you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and realized you were in danger. Now, Mr. Wright, there's no need to rush to conclusions. As I said, the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. He sure seems relaxed. In fact, they both do, Von Karma and Yani Yogi. But I wasn't running away or nothing. Then why did you leave? He's just about to say why. Is it so hard for you to just quietly listen when someone is talking? If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? Food? Well, Polly's a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Well, I kind of got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's going to believe that. I see. So he was lost. Please, Your Honor. Come to your senses. Figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yup. Seems like it. Then how could you know that you didn't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. Grr. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's heart? That's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue. I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, yes, Your Honor. You've been saying the same thing over and over. The same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he had nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order, order. Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Ho ho, now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So, who is he? Don't play dumb, Varun Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us the witness's name. Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi, that name seems familiar. Oh, Yanni Yogi from the DL6 incident. It figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This witness, is Yanni Yogi? Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? Do we have evidence? I guess Polly. Guess we do have Polly. This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now. Now I've got nowhere else to go. Nick! How are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see, that makes sense. Oh yeah, he took the files away. Well, that sucks. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yup. What? Yogi, you sneak! You burned your fingerprints to hide your you burned off your fingerprints to hide your past. Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. No! Well, what will they do now, Mr. Wright? Seems that the case has been decided, no? No! I know what happened. I know everything. Just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we going to do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to. Your Honor, the defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up on my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order. Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Did you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You're the one who suggested I cross-examine the pirate, Mr. Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Yes, we're cross-examining the parrot. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Von Karma has read every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please testify for us. Witness testimony. Who is your owner? Hello, hello. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Hmm. Who is your owner? Hello, hello, Squawk. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? Have we forgotten something? As I recall, 2 days ago. Polly, have we forgotten something? Squawk, don't forget the L6. I can get Polly to say that here. I will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello, hello. That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot. Something we forgot. Hello, hello. Uh-oh. It's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait, don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He could not have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? Oh no. Well, I guess we should try to get some information. Whoop. I keep pressing A. Okay. Witness, you're here to speak. You must speak to me. Frankly, I can't believe that you're speaking to the parrot. Well, I guess we should try to get some information out of her. We need to show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yogi. What? Well, have we forgotten something doesn't work? What's the safe number? Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number to the safe in the shack? 1228, 1228. My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker. Actually, it does. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ha! Ridiculous. How can the number to the safe tell us who the caretaker is? Oh! Oh, wait a second. Okay, I just got it. Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? Yeah. 1228. The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to that safe number? That would be case summary. It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident? December 28th? Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah, he used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see, it certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. But this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card's number to 0001 because I'm number one. What a guy. What a guy. This has nothing to do with the date. Nothing. Indeed. Alone, it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We will need some other corroborating evidence. How am I going to find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If you can just get one more piece of evidence. Right. But what? Very well, witness. You may continue. What's your name? Maybe I should get her to say her name? Polly! Polly, what's your name? Polly, Polly! Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with its owner's identity? Of course it does. Yes, it does. Ha! Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All you have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor. Bluff or more. The proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker identity is... After his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. Holy crap. Okay, well... The DL6 case file. That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? Just or stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to this parrot's name? Suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly! Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see, I guess that is possible. Bah, a mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. But what are you saying? Summon the caretaker on the boat shop. Immediately. Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order, order, order! Yanni Yogi, so was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiance, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no I saw no room for error in his confession. Yeah, we're gonna have to cross-examine Miles. Then, the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent. In this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Did someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No... Edgeworth! Your Honor, I object to your judgment! What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all! As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick! Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do? The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. Edgeworth, why? For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream, a nightmare. It's only a nightmare, that's what I told myself. But now I know, it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean, in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was clear as day. The murderer, the criminal on the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I'm guilty for DL6, the statute of limitation of which ends today. The culprit is me. Order, order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which a statute of limitation runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah! It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. We tried this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. December 28th, 2:24 p.m. District Court Courtroom number 2. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I don't believe it, sir. I mean, you kill your dad. I didn't want to believe it myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy, just crazy. Nick? What are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it. In court! I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. December 28th, 2:30 p.m. District Court Courtroom number 3. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted to his own guilt. He has confessed to his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitation on the TL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. But Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth, I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. The DL6 incident. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. Probably links to the bullet. It's also a bit weird that the gun would just fire mid-air without the trigger being pulled. So maybe we can press on that a little bit. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Bah, the same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. But wait. The murder weapon was fired twice. Okay. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor, unfortunately you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence, unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There's no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot had something to do with the case? No, this is evidence for this trial. Oh wait, the bullet? Hang on. Oh yeah. What, 2 reasons? What do you mean? Well, here, I think this is the proof. Yeah, I think this is proof that it was fired twice. Because one is in his chest, and one is in the window. What? Impossible. No, Mr. Von Karma. Save your surprise after you've seen the evidence. I see. Well, very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Yes, we do. Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. Show the judge the contradiction in the photo. That should be obvious. The contradiction is here. I see, a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone else be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look, once we're at the DL6 incident case file, look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary, that's on page 1. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol hadn't indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was indubitably something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order. I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. Gah, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you going to do, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are nothing. No! But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. So I was certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick! Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one more thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention. Yes, I did. Oh no. He's accepted the guilt. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying. Object, yeah. But my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright, I have an objection. Your Honor, I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object, Oof. Oof indeed. Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. Grah. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. Seems waiting is not gonna produce us any answer from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet. It existed. What? But we've just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? Huh? First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? The murderer had to find it. You goddamn idiot, Von Karma. Stuns you and you still don't expect him. Of course, there was a need. That's why they took it. Bah, what possible reason could they have had? Well, the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene with them is... both are technically correct. Couldn't the murderer have just been cautious of producing evidence? Well, the murderer was a very cautious sort, you see. That's why the murderer had to search for that bullet. If that was the case, then they should have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Okay, that's what they meant. Why would they only take one bullet of the 2 shots fired? Alright. I'm going to have to penalize you. Whoops. Proof. It was a special bullet, so they took it with them. If that was the case, then they should have... Oh. Okay, well, the murderer didn't need it then. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah, the murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Ugh. Had to take it. Had to take it. The murderer. What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take that bullet. Had to? Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Well, for instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer? The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head. What if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer themselves was shot? And they left with the second bullet still inside them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime? Yes, I guess that's how it would work, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other 2 people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murder came from outside, yes. The metal detector, yeah. I guess you could, yeah, you would use that. The 2 men fought inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet. The bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right, I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick! Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow! It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see? Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of a shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma! Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Say it now. Your Honor, there is a suspect, one lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? Ugh, my hands are shaking. V what? Von Karma! Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there? Bah! You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, you know? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Ugh. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That will leave a doctor as a witness. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull out the bullet by himself? That's insane! No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait, what does that mean? A bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot? What if I say it's impossible to prove? Oh yeah, the metal detector. Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know you like it so much. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma's shot is... Whoops. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where's that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There is the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Mr. Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. I refuse. You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order, order. Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you may submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet! Mr. Von Karma? You! It was you! I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course you can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. Because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You are close. 1 day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. Thank you, Maya. That's a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets, then if the markings matched, we would note that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma? You will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings of those on this bullet and solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help! I can't breathe. Quiet! I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air. Get away. Get away from my father. It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma? Only you would dare defy me. So it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Death, death. 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. It was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible, burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all laying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled! It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge! What are you doing? Your job, bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. It appears that we have come a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? You're innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. December 28th, 5:38 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number Room. Defendant Lobby Number 2. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside, you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. I was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now, it's all just a good memory. So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try, thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done it better than that. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. He's got you there. Oop! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. I feel foolish. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all. Lotta. Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank you all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in a cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones. Bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. What is that face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick. I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Kianse. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that one coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah? What's up? That envelope that Larry gave me. It's got money in it. Well, yeah. That's not strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Oh, what a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. 38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that exactly the amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? 38? No. No, Larry, it was you? What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? That doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history, eh? Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember? Yeah, too well. Right. You may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, Wright. I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth. Should have told me. Now, Nick. It was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitation has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you have always been something of a insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if only I had known, I'd have become a prosecutor. Same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, right? Hey y'all, line up. I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time, let's go. And after that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. Poor Edgeworth. December 29th, 5:02 a.m. Wright and Co. law offices. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressing me yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless, so I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to her face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? God, the first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station. I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only heard voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you're the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence to cheer her up. The bullet. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all of the evidence pertaining to DL6. But you're the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, this is it. See you soon. See you soon, Maya. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. Hey pal, Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop! Detective Gumshoe! Then he hung him head low and went right back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Hi, Nick. Oh, what? Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That a Mrs. Nice Lady, she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Well, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah. Wait, is this the end of the whole game? No, this, so I'll explain it real quick. Back when the Game Boy Advance version came out in 2001, this was the end of the game. There were only 4 cases. But in the DS version, they added a 5th one, and I assume it'll be in this game. And there are also 2 more games afterwards, because this is a trilogy. Phoenix Wright, the defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit. So yeah, case 5 will be coming up before finishing the first part of the trilogy, and then it's on to Justice for All, which is the second game. Oh, it's you. Phoenix, right? Ah yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing, haven't seen him as of late. Ah, the days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. Phoenix, right? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. I'm pleased to announce The Pink Princess is a hit. I'm sure I owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public till the show's over. I want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know? Oh, they even have publicity people. Oh, I got a letter from my dear. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway? Manual? What manual? Right, who's that? You wanna talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright? But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ugh, what a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy, huh, me? I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know, that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. Oh, Lotta. Yep, case. A brand new episode has been added. So yeah, I'll tackle that on tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed case 4. This is definitely one of the best cases in the series. And yeah, goodbye everyone. Thank you for watching.